New England Patriots, 14-2. This seems to be a yearly occurrence.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady was suspended for 4 games. Didn't matter. They went 3-1. Jacoby Brissett pasted the Houston Texans somehow. Okay. They're a playoff team, by the way. Biggest win, Ravens, 30-23. You know, they didn't really have a great schedule this year.
Right.
There aren't that many games to choose from. They didn't really destroy anybody. That Patriots or the Houston game may be it, but there was no Tom Brady, so it's hard to pick that one.
Right.
Yeah, well, they would have won. If they had Tom Brady, it would have been very, very bad if they had Tom Brady in that game. Worst loss, the Seahawks game. I mean, just almost inexplicably bad, uncharacteristic mistakes from New England. MVP, it's got to be Tom Brady. He might be the MVP of the league at this point. We don't know. I think Matt Ryan's a little better, but in those 12 games, there have been very few dominant performances like that in the NFL. Just a stretch where he was unstoppable.
Come on, everybody, we're going!
We didn't need to use that. There's probably footage we could have used.
Exactly. That's the only one we actually just pulled from Snapchat. Okay, if they're going streaking, and that's not much of a big if, why is it going to happen, Danny Kelly?
Well, I mean, Tom Brady, and it's been the same for a decade and more. I think he's just one of the most dominant players in the NFL. Arguably the best quarterback ever. He's so good at changing plays at the line of scrimmage based on what the defense is doing. He can see it. He gets everybody on the same page. I just think, if the Patriots are going to win again, it's because Tom Brady is the best player in the NFL.
Robert?
Their offense has been so impressive to me without Gronk. I just didn't think they could be this type of team without him. And the way Brady is playing is how it starts. He always has that anticipation, just getting teams in his offense in the right spots. But the way he's thrown the ball this year has just been really impressive to me.
Right.
He's accurate, he's on time. He doesn't look like a 40-year-old guy.
Right.
I don't see a scenario in which they do not win the AFC.
Be destroyed.
That's also real footage.
That's Belichick when he admonishes him.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess there's a scenario in which they don't win a couple of games. Robert Mays, take me through it.
I mean, I don't know how they don't go to at least the AFC Championship game, but I think it's just that their defense hasn't seen a real offense yet. So the first time they do that, if they have to play against
That's not going to happen against Houston or Oakland, by the way.
Exactly. I mean, so there's
them.
almost no possible way they lose before the title game.
To me, the only way they don't get to the Super Bowl is if they start to freak out when they play a top offense. If some of their young guys in the secondary start to panic, or if they can't cover guys coming out of the backfield with what they have left at their linebacker position.
I've never seen anyone enjoy anything more than Danny Kelly likes that video.
I like that. Every time it's something new. With Ezekiel Elliott, hand flip.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
It's great.
Wow. Okay. All right. We learned something new about Danny Kelly here.
Man.
Okay. End of the road. When is it coming? If it's coming, Robert.
I think the first time I could see them losing is the Super Bowl. I just feel like the two offenses that
who? Who can beat them from the NFC?
I think 3 teams can beat them from the AFC
or
the NFC. I think that the Packers, the Falcons, and the Cowboys all have the offenses to go toe-to-toe with New England.
Not the Giants.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the Giants.
Man,
What Robert Mays is saying is that the New England Patriots are the worst team in the NFC. Is that what you're saying? Let's get you on the record.
I'm not saying they would lose to all those teams. I'm saying the NFC has a lot more teams that have the possibility of knocking them off than the AFC does.
Right.
I still think they're better than all of those teams.
Well, I mean, obviously the Cowboys to me are, they're a team capable of beating them. I think that's an offense that can sort of run through that defense, just like they did just about every other team in the NFL this year.
For me, they win the Super Bowl. Because, first of all, I don't agree with you. I don't think the Green Bay could beat them.
The way Rodgers is playing right now, I'm just putting them in every conversation. I think they're at the bottom of that list, but he's playing well enough that I'm not ruling out anything they can do.
I think you could score 50 points in the Packers right now.
And they'll score 55. That's the problem.
I don't agree with that. But for me, Atlanta could beat them conceivably.
Yeah.
Dallas could beat them conceivably, but I think, if it was just on a neutral field and all things were equal, they would probably play a pretty close game, and then I'm just taking Belichick over Dan Quinn and Jason Garrett, and that's how I'm viewing it.
No one blame me.
That's how I'm viewing it. I mean, maybe Pete Carroll could do something, but the Seahawks don't even know how to play football anymore.
Right.
So I just those are the two options, Atlanta and Dallas, and I do not see a scenario in which they lose to those two teams.